In this video, we'll be focusing on the second pillar of OOP, encapsulation. Encapsulation is the concept of bundling data and methods that operate on the data within a single unit or object. This helps to hide the implementation details of a class from other objects. And this makes the code more modular and easier to maintain, which is great. We have seen the access modifiers, and we can use access modifiers like public, private, and protected to control the visibility of fields and methods in a class. And these are exactly what we need to achieve encapsulation. A very common approach is having private properties combined with public getters and setters. Let's have a look at our animal class again. In this example, the name and age field are public. This is against the principles of encapsulation. It can be edited from everywhere outside of this class. So instead, I'm going to make these fields private. And this means, now they're private, that they can only be accessed within the animal class. To access these fields from outside the class, I'm going to create getter and setter methods. Well, let's say I'm going to make IntelliJ create them for me. So I'll go to generate, and I hit getter and setter. I select them all. There we go. So having these getters and setters method allows us to safely read and modify the values of the fields. The class itself is in control of this. As you can see, the getter method, for example the getName on line 8 to 10, returns a string because the name is of type string, and it's called getName. This is a convention. It's get plus the name of the property. Then we also have a setter. The setter does not return anything, and it's called setName, which is set plus the name of the property. It does take a parameter, string name, and this parameter is used to set the field of the class. So it becomes this.name equals name. This refers to the very instance we're on. So this means the instance's property, which is defined on line 4, name, is going to be equal to the parameter name. A common question I get a lot at this point would be something like, but Maaike, this is exactly what we had. We can still access and modify the properties from outside, but now we just need to use the getter and setter to do so. And if that was your question, well, great job, because you get it really well. Let me answer it. Encapsulation is an important aspect of OOP because it allows you to create well-defined, self-contained objects that can be easily reused and maintained. Objects cannot be modified in unexpected places as a result. If you want to prevent fields from being set again, you just do not create the setter afterwards. You only allow the getter. And also, it's possible to provide certain checks before setting a value. So let's refactor our age to be of type int instead of type string. I'm going to right click and say refactor, and then I'm actually going to say here not rename, but I'm going to say type migration. And I'm going to migrate it from string to an int. And I'm going to do so in all places. Alright, and what I can do now is I can say I'm only going to set it to age if the provided age, so the parameter age, is bigger than 0. Because I don't want the age to be set to -1 or lower, because that would not be a valid age. So let's move this up. And right now I've built in some validation. This was also not possible when we just had a public field. Alright, so encapsulation is all about having private properties and public getters and setters. In the next video, we'll be exploring the third pillar of OOP, abstraction.